Spencer Wright, how are you going, brother?
Doing great, Cam. Thanks for having me,
You're
bro.
welcome, man. What's been going on? Dude, I was freezing my absolute dick off walking down here.
Dude, it was so bad, it caught me off guard. I was like, oh my gosh, like I wore a light jacket and then another light jacket on top of it because I was like, I'm going to be fine. Awful. So terrible. And like, wait, were you in Australia before you came to New York?
Yes.
So you've like not experienced snow like this?
Not like this. No, shit no. Like I've been snowboarding before, so I've been in the mountains, but not in like, you know, when you go to those places you expect it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're there for that, so you froth on it, but here it's kind of more of a nuisance. It really affects your everyday life.
Yeah, and the thing is, but imagine like having this kind of snow and then living in North Dakota. You know what I mean? Where you don't have Chinese takeout and like bars to go to.
Yeah.
It
digging your car out every morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dude,
I mean,
some of these cars are still stuck. People have not moved them. And I guess it's probably tactical because in New York, you've got to move your car every 2 days for the street cleaners, right?
Yeah.
So if your car is covered in freaking snow, you've gotten away with it, haven't you?
I mean, yeah, it's also, it's just so funny to see a car completely trapped. And like you kind of get the mentality of whoever owns that car by looking at it, because some of them like immediately like windshield's clean, like not a spot on it, it's out, it's ready to go.
Yeah.
Some people are like, I want to leave this here until March.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit, dude. And it's wild. To like I feel like if I had a car here in New York, I mean, it would change the game for doing like road gigs, but like, but there's no shot. You're paying another rent to have that car.
100%.
Here, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think it'd be such a pain in the ass. Although I would like it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure this out. Ooh, there we go. Keep this in the edit. That was smooth.
Is that better?
Yeah, it just kept falling down on me.
There we go.
Perfect. Yeah.
So many people use this studio, so it gets flogged.
Yeah. No.
Dude, sometimes I come in here, there's no camera. I'm like, where's the camera? Like, someone took it.
What was going on?
I don't know. Yeah. It's like, what
We have I have a weekly show that I do in the East Village called Big Wave, and it's in this back room in this bar, and they're super supportive of us. They've been, we've been there for like 3 years now. They're great to us, but like, they have it out the back room for like private events and stuff, and like book clubs. And we come in there like it's been 7 days since we've been in there, and the place is fucked up, dude. It's like,
damn.
What was the book club getting up to? Like shit's everywhere, like the dials all turned up, and I'm just like, what are you guys doing in here?
What are these? What's it like doing a bar show these days? It's like I've done a few bar shows, but like I've never been on a consistent. Like I do one at Bedford Falls. It's for a producer named Mikey. He works at New York Comedy Club, but he does his own shows on the side, and it's fun. Bar shows are kind of fun because the audiences are half the time are walking in pissed from the bar, so they're like kind of rowdy. But
it's so funny you say that because I don't listen to Mike Birbiglia, his podcast often, but very good podcast. He had Mulaney on recently for his 200th episode, and they were talking, and Mulaney just goes, "Do they still have bar shows?" Like, dude, could you imagine becoming so successful that like the concept of a shitty show, you're like, they don't exist anymore, right? And the producers are like, "Yeah, dude, they definitely exist. We do them."
Yeah,
and I think that the way we have it set up, it's not like an ambush show because ours is in this back room. So people have to have intention to like go back there, be in the show. And then, we've got, we ticket it through Eventbrite. We have like free tickets, but then also like extended happy hour tickets you would pay for. So like, it's like an elevated bar show, but you're still trying to make it work.
Yeah.
In just an empty room,
But you get time. You get to do some time and like.
Oh yeah, that's what the best part about having a show is. Like, if the only like piece of advice any comic could give any other comic would be to start your own show. Okay. I think because like that's the only time that you're going to guarantee that you're going to get up, you can bomb your dick off, and there's no repercussions from it. Like it's truly like a space where you can do anything, you can do as much time as you want, and then something can come out of it. Or be strategic about it. Book some really good people on it, and if you think you're at a level where it's like they could take me on the road, put them right after you, so they have to see you at least do a minute of stand-up. I think that having your own show is the only thing that like is just guaranteed to help you. Every other piece of advice is just that person's point of view and their experience, and it might not work for you. But starting a show, do it.
Damn. I have heard that from so many people, and I know it's time to do one. I've just been
Yeah, but you also do like 4 other jobs, dude. Like what the hell?
I'm busy, yeah.
And then like I find out you're married, you're a loving husband, you got like doing all these right things. It's like I'm attaching myself to you, dude. No, you're a rocket ship, dude. I'm day one. I've been here, all right, camera. Day one. I do just appreciate though, like when I like because we do this thing that is so like haha goofy time fun time that when you see someone bring like a good work ethic to it, it is like a nice reminder that this is a career and a job, and it's even though it is the best one and it's so fun and silly that like when you see somebody actually bring work ethic to it, it's like really refreshing.
Yeah,
because I feel like if you're talented enough, you can kind of just like get high for 15 years and have like some semblance of a shitty career, you know what I mean? But like when you see people just like actually work for it, I'm like, oh hell yeah, dude! It's like a nice reminder.
Yeah. Well, likewise, man. You're a hard worker, and you are a fucking gun comic as well.
Thank you, bro.
And I can see how your career is gonna go really, really well.
Thank you. Hell yeah. I love to hear that.
And your social media is going great as well, which sucks to fucking say, but it is such a big part of comedy now.
Absolutely.
And you're killing that. And so it's like...
Dude, your buddy the other night at St. Mark's when I ran into you guys on the train, but we didn't get to say what's up. What's his name?
Brandon.
Brandon? Dude, good guy. He when I was leaving St. Mark's, he was like, we got to like formally meet. He was like, dude, I hadn't met you yet, but I saw your stuff online. It's great. And I was like... So what? Do you mean that? Can you call my mom and tell her that?
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it was cool. And like, because I forget that, like, I have no context for when a video has 1 million views. I have no context for who's actually seen that because it's just a number on a screen, and like my day-to-day life hasn't changed at all with it. And it's also like I'm in the infancy of like trying to grow my social media. So it's like when someone goes like, yo, dude, I don't know you, but I like your stuff. It's like, whoa, what? So that was a
It kind of makes
moment.
you feel like a little famous.
Yeah, you get a little microdose. You gotta
little microdose. I like that.
You gotta microdose fame before you get the full hit. You know what I mean? Because like the first time you get high, you can't do it with the volcano with the huge bag. You got to take a rip of the joint, and then you get a little weird, and then you level up eventually. If you just immediately get famous overnight, like that's when weird shit comes out about you. That's when you say something messed up in an interview. You need to like slowly but surely, you know, do podcasts like this, and then eventually you do Stavi's World. Yeah, you gotta start somewhere, bro.
Yeah. Jeez, those boys though, the boys that have like made it famous, it's unbelievable. When you look at these guys, you're like, wow. You're getting paid to just do stand-up. Stand up and produce like a podcast and stuff. It's like, that surely is the dream. I can't think of a better way to make a living. Dude, but it just at the moment, it feels so unattainable.
I get what you're saying, but like, it is a, I think that like you really have to take a one day at a time approach to it, where it's like you're just doing everything that you're supposed to do today, and you can't look big picture. I think it's like I think we get so caught up in like big picture goals, and people are like, your 5-year plan, you should have it mapped out like what you're looking for, and I'm like, I kind of don't give a shit about that a little bit. I'm kind of like, oh, I'm gonna do what I can today, and it makes everything like I don't think me from post-COVID 5 years ago would have had any thought that I would be here right now. Like, you know, on a fellow comics podcast, doing stand-up every night in the city, you know, getting views on social media. That dude in 2021 was like, I'm just trying to, like, not eat a dick at mics. Yeah. You know, so it's
interesting. You're right. You're so right. It's if you put in the work day to day, it's just going to happen naturally. It's going to happen.
I truly believe that now. Yeah. It's also like, you're, like, not a crazy person. You know what I mean? Where it's like there are people who are it's like I'm getting up every day. It's like, yeah, but you're abrasive and you're scary to be around. So you're not gonna have a career. You terrify me. You make chicks feel weird, dude. No career for you. But like when you meet a guy who's like actually like you do so well on stage, it was so refreshing to see you like do your stand up for the first time because I met you and you're a nice guy, and I was like, knowing our luck here, like he's gonna work here at the club and he's not gonna be funny at all because he's like actually normal and cool. And then like you go up and rip it, and I was like, let's go, dude. One for the good guys.
Yeah, bro. It was a great moment when you got me in at Greenwich, and which thank you so much for that, by the way.
So easy.
And I did the
it's so funny to me that it's like, Cam, there's not a lot of like normal cool dudes ready to sacrifice it all. I'll do anything to get on stage. So like when you were down, I was like, oh, perfect. This is easy.
Man. Thank you. I owe this guy a big favor because he got me into a comedy club that I've been wanting to get into for a really long time, and he gave me the good word in. And when I did that trial, and it was just an amazing set, dude. Bro. Just the audience were amazing. They were like the most dream audience. I had that woman come up to me after. She's like, "You was fucking savage." I was like, "Wow, me called savage. Isn't that nice?" So it couldn't have gone any better. And that was like God going, "Yep, all right, you're ready. Thank you." That was like a little kiss on the dick from God.
Yeah, right. I think we need like wins like that. Like every 6 months, you need a good win in like the beginning of your career here, because it's like eventually those wins like stack up, and you almost like forget that they even matter to you. But like every 6 months now, I'm like I remember I was like, oh, that was a moment that like inspired me, kept me sane, and I was like, cool. That was I'm on the right path.
Yeah, I mean, my wife constantly reminds me when I'm like, oh, I suck, and I don't know if I can do this. Like it's so hard, and it's not the stand. I love the stand up, but there's stuff on the outside of that, which is really, it's hard. That's where my head can often quite often turn negative.
Yeah,
because it's just so much bullshit involved with doing comedy.
Well, 90% of the comedy is not actually doing comedy.
Exactly.
So therefore, at some point, there is a point where everything starts clicking. You start to get an audience. You get to go full time.
Yeah.
I feel like that first year full time is like, we wonder how people are able to churn out an hour every 2 years. And it's like, it's because they're doing it full time.
Yeah.
All their energy is like focused into this. It's all streamlined. They're not thinking about having to like take tickets, seat people, produce a show, worry about all that stuff gets handled, and they just have to do the comedy well.
So true.
So I feel like that, like another part of your brain opens up when you get to do that. So we're not there yet as far as like even knowing our full capacity and capability.
So true. But yeah, my wife will constantly remind me. She'll be like, "Yeah, but look where you were a year ago. You or a year and a half ago. You just came to the city. You'd only just started doing comedy here, and you would just doing open mics, and like, why can't I get booked? I can't get on any shows. Can't get anything." And it's like, yeah, we can easily punish ourselves for thinking we're not there. But then if you look back, sometimes you're like, oh, actually, no, I've come a long way.
Yeah.
In a short time. So it's cool. I gotta be a bit more positive about that sort of stuff. I think I can be a negative cunt.
Yeah.
Truly
dude.
can be.
Totally.
Yeah.
Do you find it like nice that, because I'm not sure what your wife does, like what her passions or her career is, but I assume she's not in comedy, right?
No, she's in real estate.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Do you find it like soothing to like come back to her and have her almost have very little context for your thing, and
I love it,
and like empathize with you and like want you to feel good, but also kind of like reminding you big picture that like you're in some nitty gritty bullshit and that like kind of doesn't matter?
Yeah.
100.
She's like, as much as we have issues and stuff at times, like she is the reason why I'm here. 100%. She's the one that planted in my mind years ago when we did like a real casual long distance relationship for years, and we'd be talking on the phone. I'd be like, I'd be working as an electrician at home, and I'd be like, God, I feel like I wasn't even doing comedy then, and I'd be like, I feel like I'm destined for more. Like
that's such a badass thing to say on the phone to somebody.
Yeah, I feel like I'm destined for more. I feel like I'm like, this can't be it for me. And she's like, you can do whatever you want to do in life, and you can just, if you work hard at something, there is no way you're not going to make it in something. She's like, I've just seen it so many times living in this city. These guys that she would always use real estate, for example. These guys that came in and they just fucking believed in themselves and they worked hard, and now they're making millions and millions. And she's worked for heaps of entrepreneurs in other fields. And she's like, I've just seen these guys come in as nobodies, and then they just have this bold belief in themselves, and they just, years later, they're stacking cash. And it was like, okay. If I just switch my mindset a little bit, if I actually just, instead of being a self-deprecating piece of shit and like being okay one day and then just being like, I fucking hate myself the next day. If I just get rid of that a little bit, then I can probably make something out of this.
You know what, though? I think, unfortunately, that inner voice is a lot of the greats got it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because have you ever talked to a comic who like went and bombed, got off stage and was like, dude, I just crushed, dude. It's like, bro, I have done infinitely better than you and gotten up from being like, oh, I'm such a piece of shit. And that was not that good. So it's like, if you don't have that inner critic, I feel like you're a crazy person.
I agree.
And it's like in the whole, your whole vibe is like, I think it's like essential to certain types of self-improvement.
Yeah.
Where like, unfortunately, I think that the more your self-esteem increases, I think we've seen some comics get terribly unfunny.
Yeah.
And like, I think that
you're not wrong.
And I've obsessed over this a little bit, trying to figure out how all these like very wealthy, very successful guys get unfunny. And I think it's gotta be a lack of self-critique, right? Like start to get in great shape. They got a beautiful house, beautiful family. All these things are kind of working out until they start like thinking like, I'm hot shit. And I'm like, I think that's kind of where you get derailed.
Yeah.
Like,
it's where a bit of cringe comes in.
Yeah.
Because like, that's also not so...
Because you're unable to go on stage and be like, I don't know if I'm able to satisfy my wife. Whereas how can I make this funny? Or, whatever it might be that they're insecure about. But then they go, dude, I'm the man.
Yeah.
She comes 3 times a night. I got a $5 million house. Like, there's like nothing funny about that.
Yeah. And there's something about the human species in general that, like, have you heard of this saying, the tall poppy syndrome?
That's what gets cut down?
Yeah, the tall poppy gets cut, and I feel like humans, because most of us the vast majority of us are just this middle class species with, a month worth of savings in our pockets. And so when you do see people with success and they're like gloating about it and stuff, it's like, fuck you. Fuck. There's something inherently in us where we're like, fuck you.
Dude, I gotta figure out my money issues as far as like resenting people with money, because I grew up like upper middle class family. Like I went to good schools, but like it was like I feel like I was always around wealth, and then like subsequently around people here in New York who might be like wealthier than me, and like immediately getting this tinge of resentment for them and thinking that they're like a lesser of a person because of that. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck, dude? Yeah. Like I gotta chill the fuck out. Now, of course, they're rich pricks, like there are fucking poor assholes, whatever it may be. But for some reason, I can't. My first initial reaction is like, oh, fucking piece of shit. And I don't like that about myself.
I feel like that's inherently human, though. I feel like that's a quality that you have, that's just been passed down through generations and generations. Because it's like, think back, like if you're in even the tribes and you got this guy and he's got like 4 wives and 10 goats and you've got 1 fat wife.
But dude, fat wife back then was fire.
True.
Back in the day, your wife's too skinny. Your wife looks like fucking Britney Spears 2002, and you're like, fucking put some meat on your bones, you bitch. Look at all those fat wives. Damn, dude.
You'd be resentful. I just think it's so
dude,
human.
Isn't it so funny?
But it's awesome that you're like, I got to change it about myself.
Cavemen times, it would be like the dude who was killing it was the one with a fat wife and 12 kids. Yeah. And nowadays, the poorest family is the one with the fat wife and the 12 kids. It's like, dude, I feel bad for that bastard.
Dude, especially in this country, there's some fat fucks.
Dude, you're the only comic that I've seen get away with saying fat on stage and not being fat yourself. I swear to God.
Really?
Like, I think I would truly rather on stage talk about Israel-Palestine than obesity. I think that I would be able to go up get away with it on stage before talking about obesity. And then I watch you be like, I'm on this plane with this fat cunt. I'm like looking around the room. I'm like, is he allowed to say that? And they loved it. They were eating it up. And nope, no pun intended. Yeah. And I was just like mystified, dude. Because like I truly think that it's one of those things that I think that we've successfully seen like comics with cancer make it funny, and then we've successfully seen like comics like who are obese make it funny. But like if you don't have the thing, or like a perspective of it, it's like you're on a tightrope. I feel like, and I was just like, wow, bravo, dude, this audience is loving it, and then I went up on stage, and then do you remember I was hosting the show that you were on? So you got off, I got up on stage, and then I said to the audience, that was something about like I couldn't get away with saying that. Imagine if something along the lines of like, would it be funny if I said fat cunt? You could have heard a pin drop in that room, dude. With my fucking Midwest accent, what if I said fat cunt? And everybody was like, what the fuck? You're not allowed to say it. The fucking cheeky Australian guy can say whatever the hell he wants, but you can never say that again. And I was like, got it, okay, cool. And then I like brought up Moskowitz on stage or something. I was just like, all right, now bring it up for this next guy. Fuck.
Dude, it took me a while to get, because I ripped that for a while and I was eating shit. And then Cody came up to me. He's like, yeah, you probably, same thing you just said. You probably just can't say it because you're not fat and it's not. And then I was just like, and then I just doubled down. And I just started believing. I was like, nah, this is funny. I believe in it. Fuck it. And it took me a while to overcome that. But now I'm like, whatever. Mm-hmm. But I must admit, if I'm in an audience where there's a lot of fat people,
you feel
I generally won't pull that joke out. If it's like less than 10% fat people, maybe 20%. Mm-hmm. But like if it's definitely way more normal people than fat, then I'll rip it. But other than that, if it's too polarizing sometimes.
I think that.
But even the fat people will laugh.
I think that you can get away with it too, because I don't even remember if you say this, but if you kind of phrase it or like package it as like Americans are fat.
Yeah.
I feel like that you criticizing the United States is like totally fair game. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm an outsider, and I feel like you do like. Someone said this recently, and I really liked how they said it. They're like, they'll say something offensive, but before they say too much offensive, they prick themselves.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, like as in they are going to make fun of themselves an equal amount to allow themselves to, talk shit.
Yeah.
Or they expose that they're coming from a place of whether it be like insecurity or anger, or like they're showing that I am imperfect, and then I can comment on this. And so I feel like you being like an outsider saying, like, this is my point of view, I think that that's why it works.
Yeah.
I really do. And even if you don't say it, it's like, oh, accent, Australian, he's already said it. I know where he's coming from.
Yeah.
He's looking at us being like, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah. Thank you, man. I think it does, being from Australia, I get a few more liberties here than maybe some Americans may not. Not necessarily may not, but I feel like I just get a bit more of a hall pass on some things. Yeah, just not being from the country.
I think that's the same for if I were to go do Australia.
100%.
I think that 100%. I would be able to get away with stuff there and comment on. And I'd be like, oh, you guys are just like hot and dumb as fuck. I've seen your TV show. And you guys are like, oh, it's okay because he's the outsider American. He doesn't really know us, and it's funny. I like it.
100%. What I had it in my mind before when we were talking about like when guys get a bit of an ego about it and they're like, oh, whatever. What I've loved seeing is when guys that are like killer comedians, they're fucking, they're murderers and they just don't have a good set, but they get off stage and they don't give a fuck. Like they're just so conditioned to like, oh, like I think Aaron Berg, I've only ever not seen him do well once. And he walks off stage and goes, these cunts don't know what comedy is. These cunts don't know what comedy is. And I was like, fucking killer. Isn't that cool? And
Great attitude to have.
And I was talking to the guys last night about how we do, like doing the internship, you get checks. God, that's a gift from God, isn't it? To get so early in your career to get check spots, as much as they suck. Wow, what a gift when you look back and you're also like, no, man, my skin's getting thicker.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that there are plenty of comics who might have just mic'd for a long time or done a lot of indie shows, so they never have that experience of being dropped on a show, and it makes you like. Unbombable is not the right word, but it makes you like impervious to bombing. Like you're just like, oh, I'm getting nothing right now. I've already experienced this at its heightened form. Like with stuff that like so that way when you're trying out new shit and it's actually not clicking, you remember when you had jokes that worked that weren't clicking. You know what I mean? Like stuff in your 5 minutes that you're like, no, like I'm pretty sure this is funny. I just couldn't make eye contact with anybody while they were doing math. I think it's so good.
Yeah.
But then like, I think that what you said is exactly right. That like I think that there's a certain level of like callous and experience that like a comic has once they know that they're sure of themselves. Because there have been 2 separate occasions at Greenwich my first couple of years working there where I got off stage, I grabbed my tripod, and while putting it away, I accidentally broke it. Like I was so mad. I was like, and then like multiple times comics have looked over and been like, what the fuck? And I'm like, I'm sorry.
Like you just finished a tennis game?
Yeah, truly, it was exactly like that. I was at the U.S. Open, I shanked it, and I broke my 9-iron. And it's like, dude, oh my God, I love this quote, dude. I heard it from my uncle. My uncle was talking about Tony La Russa. He was the manager for the St. Louis Cardinals, the baseball team at the time. And Tony La Russa is out on a charity event playing with a pro, right? Where they match up a celebrity with a pro. And Tony gets up to the tee, and he puts it in the woods, dude. It's completely gone. It's the first shot of the entire day, and he's just like, God damn, just pissed off, throwing his club in his bag. And the pro goes, hey, how often do you play? He was like, when it's out of season, maybe like once a month. I'm playing like 6 times a year, maybe. And he's like, got it. That's what I thought. I want to let you know, you're not good enough to get mad. He's like,
wow.
You have no right to be frustrated with that result because that's exactly what you're going to get at your level, and that's okay. Enjoy this. Where it's like, I think that about all the time when I was bombing at Greenwich, where it's like, dude, you do suck though.
Yeah.
You're supposed to bomb because you suck.
Yeah.
Get better. And then by the time that you're good enough, you have the composure that you're not going to get mad.
Yeah.
So it's like, like Scotty Schefter, when he like, if he blows a lead at the U.S. Open, it's like, that tracks that he's frustrated because he's the best golfer in the world. But if that was you, that's what you do. You suck.
So true. It's so true. That is such a good paradigm shift.
It just puts a good context in your mind of just like, oh, I forgot that I'm nobody here.
Yeah.
In this space, in this sphere, I'm nobody. I think that it's actually like super like Buddhist to
100%.
put yourself in your place.
Yeah. And then like, that's great.
Like bombing after Berg. I've bombed after Berg so many times. Dude, have you ever done checks after Berg too?
Yes, all the time, dude.
That's actually an Impractical Jokers thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As in like, they're so fucked up after that, just being like, this guy, oh my God, I've got to pay my bill. I should just go home.
Yeah.
There's no more thing.
To put it in perspective for those listening, there's this comic, Aaron Berg, and he is just the biggest murderer. Like I haven't seen another comic that can get as many laughs in a set as him. And he just destroys the room. He goes ham on the audience. And following him it's like trying to do a 100-meter sprint after your whole audience has just run a 40-kilometer marathon. And that's not a good analogy. But it's like trying to do a show in front of people that have just done like a 40-kilometer marathon because they're just worn out, they're tired,
Dude, he buries himself within his own set sometimes.
Yeah.
Like as in he'll be doing 15 minutes, he's 12 minutes in, they're so laughed out that they can't even catch up for the last 3 minutes.
Like they've all just taken fentanyl or something.
And so it's just like there's no point. They've been juiced. You're not getting anything else out of them.
Yeah.
And granted, a better comic could follow him and make it work and maybe play into the energy. Absolutely. It's just a classic example of like this is forcing you to get better. You have to.
Yes.
And then you have to sit in that silence and sit in that like I suck energy. It's great.
Yeah.
It's good for you.
To be honest, it's the most motivating factor in my life, and it always has been. It's like that point of like where you have an assignment due, right? And you leave it to like the day before and you're feeling so much anxiety and you're like, fuck, I've just got to do it now. Like it's like that feeling of when you see these murders, you're like, oh God, I need to work harder.
Were you a procrastinator in school?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I've carried that through my whole life, bro. Yeah.
Well, you know what's funny for me? I absolutely was.
Yeah.
And with even certain things in my life, like getting TSA pre-check, I still haven't done that shit. My girlfriend, fiance, gonna get in trouble. Fiance has been wanting to do that for 2 years. That's actually shitty that I haven't done that yet. Certain things, but then like with like making a video every day or like doing stand-up, it doesn't. I don't think of it in that way at all. I'm so on top of it.
Wow.
As in, like, there's so many aspects of my life that I'm not on top of.
Yeah.
But all it took was, like, just caring about it. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
It's like I just couldn't give a fuck about government, AP Gov, junior year of high school. And that's why I was writing that paper at 12 p.m.
Yeah.
Or 12 a.m. It's like, it clicked for me that I was like, oh, yeah, I just never was passionate about anything. And I couldn't get convinced otherwise.
Yeah.
And then finally something came along where I was like, I give a fuck about this. It's hilarious to me.
Interesting, yeah. I think my procrastination, a lot of it has to do with my self-loathing.
Whoa. And does that self-loathing turn into perfectionism?
It can. It definitely can. But I just feel like I've carried this certain amount of self-loathing from a very young age for whatever reason. I don't know. I don't know why. I have an inkling as to why. I won't get into now, but it's... And I feel like I procrastinate as like a way to self-sabotage myself.
Interesting.
I'm starting to really become aware of it. And I'm like, and I was writing this down the other day when I was journaling. I was like, wow, I really fucking hate myself sometimes. And this is why I'm doing it. I'm stabbing myself in the neck.
That's so interesting. Because that inner critic is like the harshest critic too. Like no one else thinks about you as much as you think about you, and like no one knows your flaws like you. And it sucks when that voice is turned up.
Oh yeah,
at volume 10.
Yeah, dude. But I'm getting better. And I'm starting to. The more I'm improving in comedy, the more I'm starting to care about it. Yeah. The hardest thing, and I've said this a few times on the pod, the hardest thing is coming from like where I've come from. It's like I've got this point in my mind. I've got a map in my mind of like how to make money, how to be successful at home. And so your body and your mind, when you experience a lot of discomfort, always wants to take you back to like the place of safety and comfort. So my mind is always like, go home, get that good job, get paid that nice money and go buy a house and have a comfortable life.
Right.
And so it's taken me a lot to overcome that. And I still am overcoming it. I'm still I'm like, get out, fuck off. But like my mind constantly, with my constant self-loathing, my mind constantly wants to take me back to like safety, which is back in Australia.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
It's an issue, but I'm working through it and I'm not going anywhere, but it's like, it's annoying.
Yeah.
It's heavy.
I think I experienced something similar with knowing for a long time that I wanted to be a comic / actor / in the arts. However, like I went to like an all guys high school that was just like, you became a businessman. Or you know what I mean? There's no like. I remember senior year, I went out like spring senior year. It's like I played football, I did basketball, and then like spring senior year, I was like going out for the play. And they cast me as a douchebag jock. That's fucked up.
I love that.
I love
that for you, bro.
And
I could definitely see you having a really good acting career alongside your comedy career.
Thanks, bro.
Truly can.
I
was
really
thinking that
appreciate
just
that.
before, so yeah.
I mean, I'm into it. I've taken classes now that I'm now here in New York, and it's something I care about, and I care about film now. In the past like 2-3 years, I've gotten really into film and cinema and just like learning more about it. But at that early age, when it's like in senior year of high school, I was like, but that's not a real thing. I can't really actually do that stuff. And then I went to college and was like, what's the easiest business degree? Marketing. Done. I'll do that. Like the entire time being like, and I took acting classes my senior year of college. And like by senior year, I finally tried stand up for the first time and just loved it. It was the best. And it was, constantly being like, that's the unsafe, bad option.
Yeah.
The way smarter option is just like, do this, get this marketing degree, work for this firm, do this, maybe go to law school. And then I got that in my head. I was like, my father was a criminal defense attorney growing up, and I was like, oh, like he kind of performs in court a little bit, and that's like something I could do. That makes sense. And then finally, dude, just because of my boozing and everything, kind of like bottomed out my life. And then I, got clean and then was like, all right, I've fucked everything up to this point. Like my own decisions and my own trying to control my own life. That I'm like, that that rock bottom allowed me to just go, I think I'm going to do what feels right now. And it kind of like gave me this freedom to now being able to post online every day where it's like most of that shit bombs. Like one out of every 10 posts hit, but that means that like 3 posts a month hit. You know what I mean? That kind of that mentality that I was so afraid of before, afraid of like doing any of this shit, exposing myself, being vulnerable. And now I'm like, dude, my life already went to shit from my old decisions. That I'm just like free to do this. So I think that is what has quieted that voice for me. Is that like I've already been at a low point that it doesn't matter anymore. I should just freely go for it.
Yeah. And I think it all comes from fear. Mm-hmm. I think all those things like...
Do you think that but it's crazy though that you moved halfway across the world, uprooted your life, or pursuing something that's like badass and also just like completely independent. Like, does that not sink in for you as like that's like a win already?
100%.
Because that's a huge win, dude. You should be very proud of that.
Thank you, man. Yeah.
Because like the fact that you're doing that already is like that to me that's like 90% of it.
But I've grown up in the very same family environment as you, like upper middle class, you know, very, very white collar family. And so I got brought up in that like environment where, you know, you got to work and make money and, you know, you got to support a family, and that just those family values of like just of the general sort of life and trajectory that most people take.
Totally.
So doing what we're doing now, you're truly going against the grain of something that's been like hammered into you from a young age. And it's, I'm very proud. And I think as the time goes on and my old life dies, because that's what is essentially, I'm trying to kill my old life.
Whoa,
I'm just killing that person, that
dude, your clone's going to come back from Australia. It's haunting you down in New York. I'd watch that movie.
But yeah, man, it's a journey, and I'm grateful.
It's an identity thing, I think, is what you're kind of like touching on. It's like you still might hold on to like part of your identity is being like this good boy back home who's gonna make a safe living and like have, you know, 2 kids, a dog, and like do all that, and it's like all safe. Yeah. And it's explored territory. Where once you start identifying as I'm a grinding New York City comic, like it's like it takes a while to like totally hold on to that, you know. I feel like even like when I started just like doing more shows and less mics, that idea of like I'm an open micer is like kind of fading away, and it's like no, I'm just like a comic. And I think that's like that transition is kind of like your mind's in like 2 places, you know.
I hear you. So you used to be quite a boozer.
Yeah, bro.
You're fully sober now? Did you go to AA and stuff?
Yeah, I was big into AA for like the first like year and a half. Thought it was great. It's just about finding community, you know? And I feel like I found that in stand-up, but I think that AA is a really good thing for sure. Yeah,
I went to a few meetings last year. I did a 9-month spell with no alcohol.
How'd it feel?
It felt great. Yeah, I feel great. I'm back on it now. Not heavily. I just go have a few beers every now and again.
Did you just get way too hungover one time and you're like, fuck, dude?
Dude, I got... The reason why I went sober was I had a bad night. I had a big night, got on coke, smoked weed, drank till 3, 4, 5 in the morning.
Let's go.
I think I then did some mushrooms, and then I started like messaging family. But like messaging them like...
Dark shit.
Dog shit.
Yeah, I that's 100% how I ended up in treatment too.
Really?
Yeah, dude. 100%. And then like they're halfway across the world, so they're getting those texts at like noon.
Yeah.
They're on their lunch break, and Kim's like, "You guys are all pieces of shit. I'm gonna fucking kill myself." And they're like, "What the fuck, dude?"
Cam's really killing it over there. He's having a good time.
Yeah, man. It's funny when you experience something like that, and then like you're like. It's one of those. It's like I feel like it's almost like getting into a car accident or something where you're just like, dude, like you're shaking. You know what I mean? You're like, oh my god, am I like in? What do I need to do to like not feel this way again? It's so funny how like how your body feels and how that like informs your mind. Because like I remember when like I was like really hungover from Molly one time, I truly was just like. I gotta change everything. Dude, I felt like Tupac in the song Change. Like, I gotta change the way I eat. Gotta change the way I sleep. And then like 3 days later, I'm just like, yo, let's get a bag. And it's so like, you're like, I'm just like, whoa, dude. I was so in the other direction so recently.
Yeah.
Just funny.
Dude, it's it takes over that life. That's hard. I lived like that for a long time.
You know what I hate though? I hate when like people our age, like once people are in their 30s and 40s, and then they go like, but I can't drink anymore like I used to because the hangovers. And it's like, bro, if you drank enough, you actually wouldn't get a hangover. I kind of hate this this mentality of just like, oh, like I would party, but I just can't do it, pussy. Yeah. Like, I literally I feel like the Bo Jackson of boozing, dude. I boozed and partied so hard like I'm not allowed to anymore. He had 6 years in the NFL because he was also doing baseball and shit, and like that's how I feel. I was just going so hard that I can't anymore. You should still go hard.
Yeah.
Why? I'm like, oh, but I gotta wake up, and it's like, be hungover at work. That's what. Why are you?
Yeah.
Dude, Doug Stanhope has an early bit where he was like, I don't understand why people booze on the weekends. You should booze on the weekdays and then be hungover at work because get paid to be hungover.
Yeah.
Don't be hungover on your free time.
That's so true. That is so true.
If you're already miserable at work, why not also be hungover? That's brilliant.
It is hard though. God, I remember I've done a lot of days as an electrician. And
that's like serious though. Like you could like as the actual repercussions for being hungover. I'm talking about being a busboy. Yeah. I was like hungover as a busboy, like barely able to carry waters. It's like that's fine.
Yeah.
But you're like, I hope this fucking works.
God, they're long days, aren't they? Mm-hmm. I don't know why we do it to ourselves. So you went to a boys' school. I went to a boys' school. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah,
I fucking loved it.
I loved it.
I loved it.
Okay, so
I would love to send all my boys to a boys' school if I had the cash.
I truly. This is what I was thinking. I was trying to make this. I'm gonna make this a bit, and I was thinking about it today. But I am if my fiance and I have children, my initial like knee-jerk reaction is I have to raise them Catholic because I was raised Catholic. And I'm like, but why? You don't believe in that? And I'm like, I don't, but like, that's all I know. And then like, how are they going to know right from wrong? And it's like, and I don't want to raise some pretentious atheist kids. Atheist kids would suck. Yeah. And I want to make that a bit because I think it's just so funny that like, I'm just so scared of the unknown that like, even with like a boys' school, I know my fiance would not want to send my kids to an all boys Catholic school. But in back of my mind, I'm like, but I had like a really great time, even though it sometimes was like very difficult and sucked. It was like those bonds that you formed with those guys. Like my closest friends are still from that school, and like it's all I know. So I feel like that's like the safest, best option. Yeah. Where I'm like, wait, what do you mean? I would want to send my kids to like a co-ed school. There are girls there, and pussy is evil. Dude, I mean, like, and you probably had all girls schools in the area. Yeah. So you met up and you were like social in high school and whatnot.
That was
so
great,
like,
and you really look forward to it.
Yeah.
It was such a novelty, wasn't it? It was.
Yeah, bro. But we like honestly though, it was like it was so like we misbehaved so much at the all guys school, and then we go out on the weekends. It was like releasing the hounds, dude. Yeah, and like it was just like everybody just got fucked up and like making out and wrangling us back on Monday to be like, all right, 5 days of no pussy for you guys. You guys have been bad.
But the Christian values, I feel like is really good. Getting raised in those Christian values because like we had to go to church once a week and we had to say, I think we had to say a morning prayer. And as much as at the time it doesn't sink in as being beneficial, you're like, fuck this. When you look back, you're like, no, this is like just instilling good values in people, you know? And it's like, something will sink in.
Do you think it's like the peanut butter for the dog medicine where it's like, I don't necessarily know if like this is like, how else is my kid going to understand that he shouldn't hit his brother? You know what I mean? And like, or how else should I explain to my kid that like lying is wrong? It's just like such an easy way to explain it that I wish there was like a better way to instill those values on kids without having to bring in Christianity. Because it's like all of these religions, like it totally makes sense why they exist in the first place. It's actually a super great way to get people to behave a certain way. And then also like there are Christian values that like are good things, but like it's like, it's almost like but it's almost like the values have gotten muddled in the religion. You know what I mean? Where it's like, it's kind of like when like an organization like fucks up what like the thesis of why this place was supposed to exist.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're taking on so much politics and bullshit while saying you're Catholic, instead of saying like, oh, I want to give to the poor, I want to help those in need, and I want to be a good friend, a good father, a good husband, and be a beneficial person in society. It's like, that's what I want from my Christianity, but that's not what it comes with these days.
Yeah, but there's people that have weaponized it.
Yeah.
Oh, you need to do this in the name of law, in the of Jesus Christ, and it's like, I've got to what in the name? Surely I don't. This isn't in the name of Jesus Christ. This is just you wanting me to do something for you or extract money from me. It's like people have weaponized it, and it's made all religions smell funny in a certain way. It's like, you know, it's like Israel, look what they do in Palestine. Oh, that's our land.
You're not allowed to say they smell funny, dude. That's crazy. Yo, the listeners are going to see the video. As soon as you said all religions smell funny, I went, which ones? Say it.
But, you know, I just think that people have weaponized religion, and there's nothing worse than someone that is trying to like use religion for their own advantage.
Oh yeah.
I feel like that is like got to be one of the lowest things you can do.
I can't get over the mega church pastors.
Oh, they're disgusting.
They're like Joel Osteen, based entirely off charisma, is worth $1 billion. What the fuck?
It's a grift, bro.
Dude?
It's a fucking grift.
And because like
that's all it is.
Even if you would listen to him and like get something out of it, it would make you feel, you know what I mean? Like even if it is beneficial to some people's lives, you cannot rationalize to me why God has made this man worth $1 billion and why he needs that. And what, like, as it all feels so perverse. Because if you were Bezos and you're worth that, it's like, oh yeah, that's what he believes in. He believes in accumulating the most wealth possible, and now he has it. But this guy, that's apparently not what he believes in, but he does that. Yeah. Just like when the actions are just so antithetical to what you're preaching, I'm just like, what the fuck?
It's
dude?
bullshit. I think it gives everyone it puts everyone off. I think it's like cults, for example, where people get like sucked into these stupid fucking cults, and they're like, oh, then they go drink the Kool-Aid, and it's like people are dumb. Humans, we are dumb.
What's big back home? Because you've seen how in the States we've got the mega churches and the pastors. Do you guys have similar stuff?
We do. I never got involved. I knew some people that would do like Hillsong. I don't know if Hillsong.
I remember, but they had a big scandal, right?
Right. I don't really know much about it, but I know they did have something. So I knew guys that were involved in that. But Australia is very like mostly Christian, like Catholic.
You're
very
like
Catholic.
this, the Hillsong, the main guy who founded the church and everything. He was like with Justin Bieber one time, and they're like walking on a beach or something, and the guy was shirtless, but he had his like jeans sagged down to where you could see like his dick V. And I was like, yo, any pastor with a dick V, bad news.
Yeah.
Like, I saw that picture and I was like, oh, that dude's a bad guy. Because it's like you can't be the sex icon and also lead a church.
Yeah.
Dude. And then a couple years later it comes out that he's fucking everybody, he's stealing money, he's doing. It's like, yeah, dude, of course that guy in the capris showing off his dick V is doing bad shit.
Dude, you just see it time and time again. These religions and cults that just they're truly there just to extract money. It's like even Turning Point USA.
Yeah, dude.
Like that went from Charlie Kirk trying to it had nothing to do with religion really. It was like, and now it's turned into this like fucking religious organization where they're just trying to, they after his death, they have raised like $250 million.
Yeah.
After, it's like,
they're all gross.
What are we fucking doing here? I don't know. The whole thing to me just feels so gross and so icky. And I feel like whenever you're extracting money in the name of God, it's like, nah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
nah.
But the thing is, like, I think that people, like, strategy people go, there's a lot of people who believe in this, and we have stuff that we need to get done. How about we just say we're one and the same? And that's like what the the Republicans in the United States have done in the past like 50 years is they're like, we need to make sure that if you love Jesus, that means you also love us. How do we get those things like so intertwined that they can't be separated? And isn't it like, I just found it so funny that it's like they we were founded on this idea of like separation of church and state, but then also in God we trust.
Yeah.
Like, what, dude? Because like, and it's just like, it's so silly. It's so it's so frustrating that like so many people in this country have like conflicting beliefs at the same time. That I'm like, you gotta like you gotta understand that you're a hypocrite. Like, and if you don't admit that you're a hypocrite, because I've obviously been a hypocrite in my life at times, and like, you know what I mean. I feel like that's like the first place that you have to like start to be able to like get through to anybody, and like people can't do that. It's like, no, it's important to have a separation of church and state, but also like we have to say the Pledge of Allegiance mentioning God in school every day.
Yeah.
It's like,
did you really?
Oh yeah, at public school, yeah.
Wow.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Like at public school.
Yeah.
Which I went to for elementary school, and it's like, huh, dude, that doesn't make sense.
It's wild. I don't know what the right thing to do is. I believe in God, and I believe in Jesus, and I think the older I'm getting, the more I'm becoming Catholic.
Yeah.
Like I got raised kind of Catholic at school. My parents are complete atheists.
Whoa, no way.
Complete atheists. Yeah, they don't believe. I'm like, I've asked mum and dad plenty of times. Like, what do you think happens when we die? They're like, nothing. You're just dead. I'm like, geez, that's a bit morbid. I don't believe in that. And I think if you've done mushrooms and stuff, you can, and psychedelics, like I've done ayahuasca and mushrooms and acid and stuff. You can see there's something else out there. There's other realms, and there's energy. Your energy just can't dissipate. I don't know what happens. I believe you probably just merge into like the consciousness of the earth, but
that's kind of how I feel. I feel like there's like an interconnection between us all, and that we're all one being, and that you know what I mean. But that's also just because I've done mushrooms and acid. But it's like I think it's almost I think that it can be such a waste of our time to hypothesize about that stuff, because we're not going to know until we're there.
Yeah.
And that getting mad at others and trying to like get them to understand what our beliefs are, like, you know what I mean, is such a waste of time.
100%. 100%. But knowing the feeling, having that feeling of what I believe, it makes me not fear death.
Yeah. I don't either, dude. But I think it's the rock bottom thing though too. Yeah. It's like I'm bonus time right now. So it's like, doesn't matter what I do. I should be dead. No, so I'm rocking it.
Yeah.
You know?
God, you're a positive guy. You're always so happy. Fuck you.
I know, bro.
Fuck you,
I've
dude.
thought about
Have
that.
you always been like this?
No, dude. I was a depressed cunt forever.
What happened?
I don't know, bro.
Because you are, honestly, you're like a radiant light to be around. It's very infectious. It's very nice.
Thank you,
I'm envious. What is it?
I truly just think that I don't even necessarily like look like I don't necessarily identify as a super positive guy or anything. Yeah. But I just feel like I'm doing something I love every day with people that I love, and then get to go home to a person that I love, where it's like I'm just kind of feel super connected, that I'm glad it kind of like, you know, it rubs off on other people. But I don't think of myself because like I'll talk shit. I'll say this sucks. You know what I mean. I'm not like, dude, you just gotta reframe. Actually, your day job's actually super sick. No, fuck off. This job sucks. You guys are annoying. This comic is bullshit, dude. But like I think that it's just truly comes from I'm living on borrowed time. I've realized I'm passionate about something. Most people don't get to find a passion in life, and they don't feel energized by what they do, and I'm just lucky to like have that. And I think that's what it is. But I appreciate you saying that.
Good on you, man.
Because like for a long time, like I was a super depressed, like solitary, keep to myself, like drunk drug addict. So it's like I'm glad that like I guess some of the work that I've done is like it's shown results. But you know, I just love the life I'm living right now, dude. But I have reckoned with death though, for sure. You know what I mean? Like I really thought about it. I remember right before I went into rehab, I did a hero dose of acid and just was like, and I like remember like really meditating on like all my loved ones' deaths and like reconciling with them, which was like an insane thing to do. Right. But then I also think it made me open-minded to then getting sober and like letting things happen, because it's like now I know for a fact, and you know I'm just not like, the way you're supposed to look at it is truly one day at a time, where it's like, I'm not going to drink today. That's the only decision I've made. I'm not talking about years from now or tomorrow. I'm just, today I'm not drinking. And I've applied that to like every tragedy I can imagine, because I've thought of them all. I've thought of every terrible thing in the world that can happen to me, and then I've like reckoned with it, and I go, and in response, I won't drink. And it like really gives me a lot of peace. But it's like I've thought of sick things. I've thought of the worst things, and been like, and my response will be, I'll probably be a piece of shit to who's ever close to me. I'll probably be a recluse. I'll probably be devastated for whatever amount of time. But I also won't drink, and like it gives me like a really nice calm.
Good on ya. Amen to that.
Dude, you want to go get hammered?
Yeah, let's go.
Dude, I've had people ask me after shows, like if I've done it. Like it's so funny. The more material you accrue, you stop talking about the stuff that you talked about at the beginning of like stand-up, for instance. So at the beginning of like me doing stand-up, it's like kind of like all I had was talking about being sober.
Yeah.
And then now, it might not even come up if I'm doing like 15 minutes or whatever. But I remember in the beginning, it's like all I had. And then after shows, I have people come up to me and was like, was that stuff true, or do you actually don't get fucked up? And I'm like, how insane would that be if I was like, that's just gonna be my niche? But I mean, I guess there are like some like pastors or people who live that way, who they preach one thing and then behind closed doors do the other. But being an open micer and being like, I'm gonna construct this, that'd be insane.
It would be insane.
I did have a guy come up to me. Eric B was telling me to turn this into a joke, and I never did. But he was like, you should do that. Where a guy after the show was like, that's all I talked about was like getting sober and trying to figure shit out. And he's like, bro, I loved your shit, bro. Like, so fucking funny, dude. I'm about to go light this blunt outside. You want to hit this shit? And I was like, you obviously didn't listen to a word I said. But yeah, thanks, bro. I'm good though.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's bizarre how many comics are actually sober.
I think it's just like we live in extremes.
Yeah.
Right?
There seems to be a lot of similarities between comics. It seems common traits are procrastination, 100%.
Getting sober.
Getting people that have liked to get fucked up and
huge
kind of
dicks.
Like,
and,
that's a big problem.
Yeah, real big problem.
It's a big... That's something I guess we can't overcome, but that is the curse.
Got horniest podcast this side of Mississippi.
So where are you from originally? You grew up in the South?
No, St. Louis, Missouri. But like,
so
honestly,
where's that?
Missouri is getting more southern. You got the United States right here. We're up here in New York. It's like right in the middle.
Nice. So you below the Mason-Dixon line?
Which one? I think we're above it.
Okay.
Dude,
is it like an inland? I need to look up it on a map. Are you girt by a sea? Or?
Dude, how embarrassing is it to get like geography checked by a dude who's not from here? It's like, well, you guys technically. No, I think that we are above, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay,
but barely, because like Missouri is like, as the years go on, has much more of a like a southern like vibe to it. It's very strange.
How do you spell Missouri?
Missouri. So like parts of Missouri, it's like, we're touching Arkansas, we're touching Tennessee.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you're right in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, so what the hell?
But also, like, a lot of people, like you're saying, comics have a lot of things in common. Like, a lot of people from like for instance, St. Louis is like a brewery city. Like Anheuser-Busch was founded there, so it's like a lot of people booze.
Yeah.
And like, as in like, they might like look down on like weed. Well, like when I was growing up at least, but like everybody boozed. Everybody was drinking and driving. You know what I mean? Just like really bad like a relationship with alcohol, but it was because it's like, well, hey, we're Anheuser-Busch, and it's like it's a weird relationship with alcohol for sure.
Did inland towns like in America, do they get hit by like the meth epidemic.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Same in Australia. It's very similar in Australia. Like a lot of the smaller country towns, it just went through and then it just took off.
Well, it's gotta be like an isolation thing. I truly think that's
so.
I think it's a lack
isolation
of
with less external stimulation. So,
yeah, totally. You can do meth in your trailer and have a good fucking time.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
I love the idea that like all of these mind altering things that are terrible for you, or it's actually like a clever way for you to get out of your own head. Like you can very quickly, 10 minutes from now, completely feel different and like you're in a different headspace. And when normally your day job sucks, your wife sucks, your life is shit, but then like you can immediately switch that around and not give a fuck. I think that it's like you don't give like drug addicts enough credit for immediately finding like a way to like change it. It's like kind of brilliant. But yeah, dude, Missouri, middle of Missouri, it's rough. But I feel like, I don't know how much you've traveled around the states. You drop yourself in the middle of any state, in almost any state in the United States, they all look the same. And people were like, how the hell did Trump get elected? It's like, because all these people are like impoverished. They know 1,000 people in their town and things aren't looking great for them and they don't have a lot of things to do. Where it's like, if you're here in New York, it's like, my life's great. This place rules. We should give shit to other people. But if you're living in the middle of nowhere and like half your family is like fucked up on crank, it's like, yeah, dude, we do need to make some changes. This is scary. Yeah. And like, that's what doing the road has done for me is like, I go to these places in the middle of nowhere and I'm like, oh yeah, things are bleak here. Like it's really sad sometimes. And so, yeah.
Interesting. What do you think will change it in the end?
Oh, I don't know, dude. I don't know. Because it's really strange that, like, because all these places look the same. I could not tell you the difference between middle Missouri, middle Pennsylvania, and middle of Arkansas. It's like, it all looks so similar. Because I don't think that, like, being a little bit more isolated is necessarily a bad thing. But, like...
Some people love it. Some people, like, their worst fear would be getting dumped in the middle of New York City.
Yeah, absolutely. My 86-year-old grandma just visited New York for the first time.
No shit.
Like a month ago. Yeah, wild.
But did she like it?
She loved it.
Is she mobile? She can walk around and stuff?
Yeah, and
wow,
it was crazy. Born and raised in southern Missouri, and like, you know, my grandpa was very pissed off that she was doing this, but my brother...
Why?
Because he's like, you're going to get stabbed. you were going to get sex trafficked. It's like, dude, if she got sex trafficked, how flattering would that be?
Yeah.
She's like,
what a way.
Me? Oh. My grandpa just doesn't fly. And so it's, yeah, he's scared of planes. My farmer, badass, hound-raising grandpa is afraid of flying. It's very funny.
Isn't that funny?
Mm-hmm. He's a different breed of guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, well, you know, my fiance and I, we're gonna get married in Vermont.
Congratulations, by the way.
Hell yeah, thanks, bro.
You're the man, yeah.
So
when are you gonna get married?
Fall of 2027.
Great.
We're gonna do it in Vermont, so he's gonna have to fly.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting.
Bust him up, I guess.
No chance, dude. My dad would kill him before he'd have to bust him up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he would strangle him in his sleep before having to do the 28-hour bus ride to Vermont.
So your grandma came to New York City and she was just like, oh my God.
Yeah, it was unbelievable to her. And also, like, she's like one of those people who it's like she's just only getting fed what the media tells her. And so she thinks that New York's a hellhole. Then she comes here and it's like, great. And there's like... In the closest city to her right now is St. Louis, Missouri. St. Louis is been the victim of just like constant population decline. Businesses are moving out of there. People are just like moving out from the city. So the actual city itself can be very sparsely populated at times, which means dangerous too.
Wow.
Where it's like the less people you have in an area, the more influx of crime there will be. Because like you can get away with it. And here in New York, it's like, dude, you can't get away with shit.
No.
There are people around all the time. Now, granted, there are parts of like, you know, Brooklyn you might go where it's like, oh, there's not as many people walking around at 2 a.m. But anywhere here in Manhattan where she was staying, there are people who are running around all the time. And so she was just like, oh my God, this place is actually kind of nice.
It's so safe. I've never had an issue. I feel like you could have issues here, but generally speaking, it's very safe.
I'm banking on my fiance not listening to this podcast, so I'm about to tell you something that happened about 2 months ago.
Please tell me.
She would be so pissed, but I just couldn't tell her because I don't want her to worry.
Yeah.
I was doing I live in the Upper East Side, and I was doing a show on the Upper West Side, and the show was at 8 o'clock, and I'm hosting the show, and I was like, it's about 7 o'clock, so I was like, dude, I can just like walk over and I'll get there in 45 minutes. Yeah. I'm just gonna cut through the park, and then I'll pop out right there on the show. And I walk through the park all the time to go to the AMC Lincoln Square. So I was feeling confident. I was just like, yeah, it's like sun setting. But by the time I left, it was actually kind of black outside, pitch black. And I'm walking through the park, and then I kind of make a misturn because I have to go through these woods. So I'm like, it's going to go up. So I'm going to go up this way instead of the normal route I go. And then it gets very wooded, and all of a sudden the path gets very narrow, and I'm walking up, and there are like 4 guys kind of standing around in different areas on the path. No. And I'm looking up, and I'm like, I clock one, clock the other, clock him. And I'm like, there's nothing to be worried about. We're just walking in the park at 7:45. And then I see one of the guys stand up from the bench, like in my peripherals. And I see another guy turn around, and he's got a mask on, like a COVID mask. But I'm like, what the fuck? I have a COVID mask. And at that point, I realized I'm getting triangulated. I was like in the middle of them 3. And I was like, oh, fuck. And so I just started sprinting in one direction. And I literally passed by a guy who was turning this way. It was one of the guys. And he was like, looked like he was about to grab me. And I just started sprinting, right? And I sprinted all the way outside of the park. I arrived to the show, and I'm hosting this show in about 10 minutes. I'm just like,
wow, bro.
I'm ready. Dude, I was terrified, dude.
You were going to get mugged, dude.
I was either going to get, or it could have been a sex thing. That crossed my mind later.
I mean, you're a sexy boy.
Thank you so much. I don't know if cruising like that in Central Park is a thing, but the fact that it was 4 of them, I was like, dude, I think that was they were going to beat the shit out of me.
Oh, yeah.
And like you hear about it here in New York, and I'm shocked every time I hear about it, but I was like, oh, that would have totally happened.
So what part was it? Was it like the Ramble part, or were you cutting through the Ramble?
Yeah, totally. Like on the, probably around like between like 70th and 80th in the park. It gets a little sketchy. Don't do that.
Damn, dude.
I was so dumb.
I cut through there all the time. I got through there I'm so ignorant. I go through every single night when I'm coming back from Broadway. I go through the park. Mm-hmm. And I probably shouldn't. I'm on a city bike most of the time though, so that's fine.
You're fine, dude. I mean, dude, this is so dumb. I told my fiance this, and she was like, "You're actually a fucking moron." I would leave AMC Lincoln Square at like 1 a.m. sometimes from these movies. And I was like, oh, well, it's kind of dangerous to cut through the park, but I'm actually cutting pretty far south down the park. So there's a lot of lights and everything, and people are like always running or walking dogs like a little bit. And I'm like, it's 1 a.m. And also, just in case, I'm going to bring a pocket knife with me. And then my fiance finds out that I'm walking home with like a knife in my pocket. And she's like, what's your strategy? You're just going to stab somebody?
Yeah.
Is that, you're going to stab somebody? And I was just like running it through my head. I was like, oh yeah, that's actually not a good idea. But like me, like, I was like, I'm protecting myself. And she's like, we're dumbass. And I was like, okay, that's so fair.
Does the park actually, is it known for being dangerous? Do muggings and attacks happen regularly there?
In the past, it was. I don't think it has that reputation anymore.
Okay. Because the police, after 1 o'clock there, you're not supposed to be in the park.
Really?
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah. They'll get you. There's so many times I'm like riding through there, and they get on the loudspeaker like, you're not allowed in the park. Please take the first exit.
Oh wow. Yeah. Nice.
And then I'm like, fuck you.
I've always thought like, why are there not more homeless dudes up here? Like chilling out, sleeping in the trees, whatnot.
Don't think they're allowed to.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they're allowed to be anywhere. But
yeah. God, to be homeless in the city would be the worst.
When I lived in Miami for a little bit, when I was going to school there were some homeless guys by campus, and I just couldn't get the like intrusive thought of like, got it pretty good down here.
Yeah,
they got their little tents under the overpass. Dude, I would get high as fuck and then like go to Wendy's with one of them. Dude, I would do that all the time. That's how lonely and like fucked up I was. I would get high and then I would go to Wendy's. They're like, you want anything, brother? I'll get you a 4 for $4. And I'd bring in a homeless guy to Wendy's. And every time the Wendy's employee would be like, what the fuck? dude. You know what I mean?
So funny.
They would just be like, no, we can't keep encouraging this behavior. And I was like, oh, I wanted to have a meal with him. And I'd talk to him. They'd say the craziest shit that you're like, I don't know if this is real or not. You know what I mean? Being like, oh, no, my cousin, we're going to actually go on vacation together next week. And I'm like, I'm sure you are. Wild.
Well, bro, this has been a great episode.
Yeah, dude. Thank you so much for having me. This is so much fun.
Do you want to give everyone your socials?
Yeah, it's Speezy Taught Me on everything. Just find me. And this was great, dude. Appreciate you.
Dude, absolute pleasure. Guys, follow Spencer. He's a legend. He's cooking right now, so just get on his bandwagon. And like and subscribe. See you on the next one, guys.
Great stuff. That was so fun.